You straight up cuckooed that dude, bro. Oh my God.
You've got all your Charger gear on because
feeling fresh as hell.
Well, you guys better enjoy it. The fans loved it.
You have to love what you're seeing on tape if you're a Chargers fan, especially for the future with Justin Herbert.
On the move and throws and touchdown.
Do this together.
Players, coaches, staff, fans, together we can create something truly special.
Stay tuned for some good content.
oh my God, people, are you okay? Is everybody okay? Do we need to send out ambulances, helicopters, any social service workers to make sure people are still alive?
God, dude.
Goodness gracious, folks.
I know for a fact how I'm going to die. I know how it's going to happen. It's not going to be anytime soon, I don't think.
Right.
In the future, when I'm in my 60s, I'm going to be watching a Charger game, and I'm going to die.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I get up in age, it could be lethal. That we might need to adjust some things.
Might be against
Hopefully I
doctor's
mature.
orders. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, folks, this is our instant reaction. We are doing this because we just came off of the win. Boy, what an ugly way for that to end. But hey, it's a W at the end of the day.
At the end of the year, it's a win in the win column. We don't have to come back and revisit this one because that was too much.
How much do the Cleveland Brown fans hate the Chargers?
Dude, we were just watching the Brisket Broads were doing a live thing, and they were saying like old ladies were yelling at them. Like they were,
That's 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
Wow. Yes,
Holy
folks.
crap.
What a game. This started off, I mean, it started ugly and it ended ugly, but we came out with a win. It started off with the Chargers down 14-0. And it was just like, what is happening? What is going on? But come on, guys, we can come back from this. And they do, and it started looking like the Charger Brown game from last year. We were, you're up and you're down, you're up and you're down. We're both battling it out there.
Most lead changes in a game this season.
I believe it. I believe it 100%. Probably one of the most exciting games. I'm sure when they come out with, the most exciting games list, this will be one of those games listed on there because it was just, we knew that they were going to come out with the run game, and they did. Nick Chubb was running it down our throats. He was getting some big runs out there. Yes.
Question.
Yes.
What was our run game like?
Okay. Too many questions here. Kyle, how? We have trouble with the run defense. It happens. It's been a problem. And
it's those guards that were getting up into our linebackers all day long, and they couldn't get off blocks. That's how they were making their big plays. That's all it was. Their guards are awesome, and they got to the second level.
Here's the thing, though. Consistently, they just work as a unit.
Yep.
When they're blocking, they're all together. There's no like chink in the link of them moving together.
Right.
They just have it figured out. They have a system. They all work really well together, and those running backs are terrifying. Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. The run game travels. That team is good. They're a good football team.
Well, look at 1-2 punch Kelly Eckler.
Yeah.
Holy shit. That was our best. That was insane.
And Sony Michel was crickets.
Yeah.
Like we have our 1-2 punch.
Right. Yeah.
That's
Sony
it.
Michel came out for one run, and we were asking why. Why are you doing this? Kelly's clearly been the
why? It was more like why?
No,
why? Get down.
No.
Just
Get down, you idiot.
We saw him come out, and it was just like they talked about it in press conference. Joe Lombardi, he was asked, like, why don't you put Kelly out there? He's shown to be more effective. And he's like, you know what? It's a good point. They gave Michelle a shot, didn't do much with it. Kelly came out, scoring a touchdown, getting big runs, finding the open holes. And same thing for Eckler. Eckler had over 100 rushing yards today, probably over 150.
I think it was over 150.
Yeah. It was a huge amount, a huge difference from what we've seen in the previous weeks. We finally got the run game going, so much so that I don't think Herbert threw for 300 yards today. I think it was sub 300. So
yeah, it wasn't one of Herbert's best games. He wasn't. I don't know if it was not one of his best games or just a lot of drops.
There were quite a few drops. There were some drops. We saw some from Palmer, who's usually a very reliable guy. Gerald Everett had some trouble as well. Parham was quiet the entire game. Didn't get a single catch. I think he was more.
He had a false start penalty.
He had a false start penalty, so he contributed in that way. But that's not usually what we're looking for with a guy that's been out for as long as he has been. But and it was scary there for a second too. We saw Pipkins go down. He got rolled up on.
Norton, man.
And Storm Norton trotted out on the field, and we all collectively said, please no.
And he played the way we felt.
He did. Yeah.
He gave up a huge tackle on third down. It was just like, They need to evaluate that pretty quick. I don't think he's good to have on the roster as a backup in these situations. There's got to be a better option. There's got to be a better option.
Yeah, clearly that was an issue, but with Pipkins, God love him, dude. He came back out there and continued to play. So I don't know what kind of injury.
Sawyer didn't give up a sack today.
Didn't give up a sack
against two of the best pass rushers in the NFL.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, this was a huge test for that guy and played just fine. I'm sure we'll see the numbers come out on how many pressures or QB hits and all that jazz came out. But I mean, it was a very weird game. We were seeing penalty markers for acting of the year for Jacoby Brissett getting 2 fingers on him and crumbling like a piece of paper, and no flags for some of the holding penalties that you were seeing there, Kev. Like some of it was just overly egregious and no flags getting called. But I mean, again, we're not trying to look at the negative here. This is a freaking win, guys. We came out with a win. We're 3-2 right now.
Can I tell you something that we did, Kyle, that actually really worked today? Adam and I, whenever the opposing kicker is going for his kick, what do?
Yeah.
Miss it. And we were 2 for 3 today. We were
twice.
2 for 3 today.
We did that twice. It worked twice.
Okay.
It's not going away. It's staying.
Eerily effective.
We're all in.
All in on the miss it.
Yeah. You get the miss it tweet come out from the Charger chat and Twitter. Start screaming.
Start screaming, folks. This is like Tinkerbell. You all got to clap at the same time if you want this to happen. Y'all got to shout miss it if you really want it to work. So, Mike Williams, too, had himself a heck of a day, over 100 yards. I mean, some of those catches were absolutely insane. I mean, we talk about him being excellent as a contended catcher.
Catchman?
Yeah, the catchman. He's the catchman. He's the catchman. Very nice. The balls that he was catching. I mean, the guy, number one, is already so tall. And number two, because he's tall, he's going to have long arms. So he can just hold the ball away from you. And
it's like
there's
playing
nothing
with your
you can
brother who's like 5 years younger than you. Just holding the ball.
You can't get it.
You can't have it.
I'm trying to think, what were some of the other big highlights that we saw out there? I mean, defense. Alohi Gilman.
Okay, so we were kind of harping on him pretty early on. We're like, where's Nas? What's going on?
That is a question. We don't know the answer to why. Nasir Adderley, normally the starter out there at safety, for some reason they said Alohi
got benched.
The guy got benched.
Nas was not on the injury report. Am I correct?
Unless something happened to him today before he hit
maybe
the field.
the bugs on the field.
He inhaled a few too many
bug.
midges or whatever those bugs are called.
Those things
he got a midge to the throat and the tonsils, and he was out.
And it's too shameful to put on the actual injury report. Which you're like, we'll just talk about it.
Yeah. We'll say you're benched. That'll be a better look.
I took a midge to the throat. It's in my throat, guys.
It's in my throat, coach.
I'm sorry, coach. So, Alohi got the start, and it was a little rough out there. There was a few times where either he wasn't getting the tackle or it didn't look like the effort was being made. But that I guess second to last drive.
I was sitting there watching that. I was like, Jacoby Brissett looks like a Pro Bowler today. What the hell is this? I need Jacoby Brissett to be Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah.
And then 2 plays later, boom, throws a pick right into the arms.
It was
just
beautiful.
like, that's game. You call game with that interception.
Yeah.
But then I want to talk about the last drive. I mean, we're going to talk about all of this.
We will. We'll go much more in depth come the episode.
But that last drive where they're winding down the clock and they go for it, third down. Not an exciting play call. They had the box stacked. He didn't check out of it. Austin ran up the middle for like a yard gain. That's not going to get you a first down.
Mm-hmm.
And then what was that play? Like, what's the idea of throwing that ball? Is that like a PI hope? Because your game's riding on that shit.
You're running double slant. So you're trying to get the first guy to clear, and then Mike Williams comes underneath there, and Mike just didn't get underneath his defender. His defender stayed underneath. So that needed to get converted to a vertical, but 4th and 2, you're not going to convert that. So, they played really good. They played good defense on that. Yeah. The play call for the situation, running slants, it's like kind of a obvious look, but
I think part of it had to do too. They mentioned earlier, just prior to that part of the game, that Denzel Ward was out. He was in concussion protocol. Yeah. So I think he was probably the main guy that was blocking Mike Williams probably the whole game. And when they saw that he was out, it was like, just throw it to Mike. I don't care who's blocking him. Mike catches those balls. He'll catch it regardless. And that just ended up not being the case.
It's just that I feel like that play call is that Justin Herbert's hurt. If he's not hurt, they roll him out. and give him an opportunity to throw and run.
Yeah.
So I think you saw that throughout today. The reason why we had so many underneath throws is Jadeveon Clowney and Myles Garrett are no joke, and they don't want Justin Herbert taking shots.
Yeah.
So that was definitely part of the game plan. It's just in that 4th and 2. If that's all you got, just punt the ball. Make them get a couple. If we could have punted down to the 10-yard line, what chance do they have at getting anywhere with no timeouts?
Yeah.
So there was some ballsy calls there at the end.
And I'm glad it worked out in our favor.
Yeah.
Field goal again.
Would have been a real bad look if that didn't work out.
The heart started racing in that last drive. Like they drove on us that previous drive all the way down through the pick. They had the ball that entire 4th quarter pretty much.
Right.
Yeah.
So I was just like, oh shit, here it goes.
It's all unfolding how you were predicting, and
but thank God
we didn't charger it. That's one of the few missed field goals I've seen in a last second game for the Chargers, where we come out on the right end of a missed field goal. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, is there anything else that we want to talk about? I think we instant reactioned the heck out of this game. I want to do some bold predictions though, because we've not seen post game Staley yet given any victory speeches, hasn't handed out any game balls. If he's going to hand any out, bold predictions. Who's getting the game ball?
Eckler and then a lineman, maybe Zion or one of the linemen that had the best day.
I think you give it to Gilman. I think they're going to say he had
Gilman
to step up and did it, and he came in clutch at the end when it really matters. So Gilman and Eckler getting game balls for sure.
Yeah, I'm Bertollet might actually get a game ball too.
Yeah.
Didn't have any missed kicks and came in clutch.
You get a game ball.
Hey, have a game ball.
I'll take one.
Out more than one. A lot, but
we'll talk about that later. But the fact that we had like this kicker off the street come in and do what he did,
He looked good.
That was just
did great.
I was having such a panic attack about that, and it worked out so well. So thank you very much.
All right, well, we'll see who ends up on top with our bold predictions. But for now, folks, that's going to do it for this instant reaction. Don't forget to bolt up because we're ready for any squad, any place.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Okay, love you. Bye.